Have you been naughty or have you been nice?
I've heard you've been a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Wait, who is that? It's the Freak!
What's up, everybody? Freak and the Geek Christmas Special here. We thank you for watching. Be sure and check out all of Jess West's transitional costumes. Check out her Facebook, her Twitter, her new website, which is not yet available, but by the time this airs, will be on our freaking website. Merry Christmas and...
Feliz Navidad, Happy New Year, woo!
We're here at the Freak and the Geek Christmas Special podcast. We have Jess West with us. Me, the Freak and the Geek, wish you a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, too. How have you been?
Pretty good, just hanging out, getting stuff ready for the holidays.
I feel like it's been about maybe 10 days since we filmed the last one.
Approximately.
The nightmare filming, it's like 9 hours.
Long.
Yeah, we ended up, guys, I'm sorry, we ended up with some footage at the end we had to cut out. We were all exhausted. We filmed for 9 hours for that. Put our blood, sweat, and tears into it, wanted it to be great, and it just turned out to be too much for us. So we're back again this week with Jess. We're here to talk about her mummy transition, which you guys saw in the beginning, and also her gizmo transition we got back here. So, let's see, where was we? I think we left off with the genie. Is that correct?
Yep, it ended up with the genie last time, absolutely.
Okay. And so then in the real world timeline, we went from the genie, and was it the next Halloween, or was it...
In what sense? What do you mean? Like when was it done?
When you went from the genie to the mummy.
To the mummy? Oh, the mummy actually was the first costume in Indianapolis. Then I did the genie, and then you had Gizmo, and then of course the big bad wolf.
All right then. So what made you decide you were going to be a mummy and transform? I mean, you'd already decided at that point you were going to start working on like transformation costumes.
This actually was the first one I'd ever decided to do. It came from an idea because I was, scouring, looking for ideas for Halloween costumes, and I thought to myself, most girls just treat it like an opportunity to put on some lingerie and some kitty cat ears. And I thought, I actually want to start making scary costumes, for myself to wear. But I'm like, how am I going to do that and then still have sort of like a hot, sexy appeal to it?
Right.
So we dressed as a mummy. He looked legitimate. I must have looked like a gay mummy because I was dancing and everybody thought I was a guy. And then you rip it off and turn into an Egyptian.
I actually remember you were being really quiet at the costume party. And I won't say the girl's name, but she was a little bit drunk and she was confused. She thought you were a guy too, and so she was a little bit afraid, of you. And then at the end, she was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that was Jess.
Oh, absolutely. Happened a lot. I actually was in Kilroy's trying to use the women's bathroom, and the girl screamed, and we're like, there's a guy in here. I'm like, flipped off the mask. It's a girl. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what is this mummy actually made of?
It's a latex.
Is it like ace bandage?
Yeah, well, it's a latex mask that I made, and then this actually, yes, is gauze. And then strips of linen fabric that you rip into strands. And then, believe it or not, I took coffee grounds and soaked in the bathtub and sort of dipped them in there to sort of get them to be old and vintage.
Is that like a YouTube idea or?
Kind of. There's different methods you can use for paper in order to stain it so it looks like naturally old and cryptic. And I thought I could do that on fabric. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And it gives it a look
So-
of dirt.
Yeah, he looks really warm, and I remember it was exceptionally cold that Halloween, so you probably fared okay, or no?
Oh, it's awesome, especially Gizmo. You know, him to be in a fursuit. All of my guy versions of the costumes I wear keep me warm, and then when I'm inside, and the slutty girl versions.
Yeah, luckily I get to wear anything I want for Halloween.
No, see, that's the benefit of being
I'm
a guy.
really excited about this Halloween. It'll be really the first Halloween I got to go out and celebrate, because I've been working industry for so long.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to really dress up or do anything like that.
It's a good time.
Pretty excited about that. Me and Freak can agree on anything. Mrs. Freak, we'll get it together. But
You just need to call me.
we will. I feel like, I don't think we're going to be able to agree on the same thing, though. This year we were going to go, but we ended up, I had to work or something. I forget what happened, but we were going to go as Caitlyn and Bruce Jenner.
That's a good one.
So I was going to be Caitlyn and she was going to be Bruce.
Oh, partner costumes are always the best. That's why I
Yeah.
partner with myself each year, but it's still a good time.
Do they count that as one entry in most contests?
They do.
Because
They
I'm
do.
always like knee deep in everything behind the bar. I have no
They
idea.
do. Yeah, they typically, I mean, sometimes they'll have different categories for the costume contest and a best couple, group,
Yeah.
individual, overall. But yeah, typically you'll probably win best couple if not just as, one unit.
Okay. And so you went from this to from the mummy to the genie, right?
It's an Egyptian, actually, that was underneath this one. I had an Egyptian god with some like the nice straight bangs and the Egyptian style costume underneath, and I had hieroglyphics painted on my my pantyhose, which is pretty sweet.
And that was like that. God, I want to say hentai, but I know that's the porn. What is that stuff that they put? The thing.
The henna tattoos?
Angelina, is it henna?
Henna, I think
It's just
so.
not hentai.
I don't know. I don't
Which
know.
one is the porn? Yeah, hentai. Yeah, I knew I was thinking of the animal cartoon porn one, which is. Yeah, it's what I always think of when I think of henna. Is that what it is?
I think it's the henna tattoos. That's the only
first
thing I'm
that comes to
familiar
mind is
with.
that. P.S. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't watch cartoon porn. I think it's stupid. Jesus Christ, everyone's a critic around here. So, I don't know that you're the Egyptian. Did you make the actual costume for the
Yeah, all of them.
Egyptian?
Absolutely. Any costume that I'm wearing, including in the masks, the gloves, every piece of it is sort of a personal mission to myself to make it. Sometimes I can find it cheaper than I can make it, but I like to have a costume where I say I'm responsible for everything on this piece.
Right, so you'll buy pieces if need be, but...
If I need to, but I rarely, since I've really got into it and I've learned to develop my skills to make masks and gloves and pretty much anything you can think of, I can make it. Besides, animatronics.
Yeah.
Try to figure that out soon.
Excellent, excellent. And so then moving on to Gizmo, honestly, that's a huge costume. Did you do some research with mascot costumes or anything before you started working on that?
Yeah,
Or did you just start sewing together like you did with the Wolfman?
Yeah. I mean, inside of Gizmo is a bunch of cardboard and pillow stuffing and all kinds of, I like to use some recycled items if I can, because A, it's more cost effective for me, and B, it's just kind of cool to be green and recycle things.
Of course.
So, yeah, research as far as, my research is pictures, YouTube videos. That's pretty much, what I did. I did look at mascot heads and how they're made and such, stuff like that. So, and then, of course, the gremlin that's underneath was a latex mask that I made, as well as kind of like the mouth on Gizmo was made out of that, too.
Right. And so how many hours would you say of research you actually normally would put into your average costume? Obviously not the wolf costume, because it's a gigantic one.
Right.
But for your average costume, the mummy or Gizmo,
It just kind of depends. I mean, the research is actually, as I go, I will look at videos and I will come into a roadblock and think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? What do I need to do to make it better? And I just sort of Google images or problem solvers of things that people have done.
So bringing that up, how far into a costume have you ever been where you just decided you had to trash the whole thing and start from scratch? More than 50% through, or?
I like to mostly mend things because I have a hard time just scrapping.
Getting rid of it,
The
yeah.
wolf, I will say I did start with his legs. And so I built these awesome feet. And what would be the shin area. And when I started, developing his chest and his arms and such, I realized that the proportions were not even close. So I had to completely scrap all of his legs and 9 rolls of duct tape and all kinds of fat, foam.
And how many hours did you have in the legs at that point?
I had probably at least around 8 or 9 hours in the legs, which isn't a lot.
Yeah.
but it's just more of like the bummer, like, man, I thought that, that was going to happen.
So you're probably like 20, 30% through with that one, and you had to scrap it?
Probably maybe like 5 to 10%. It wasn't that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that's probably like, has that been your biggest?
Yes, setback, yes.
So far? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And did you cry?
I didn't cry.
I feel like you did a little
threw
bit.
some things in my basement, but I didn't cry.
Yeah, Mrs. Freak would have cried for days. So what else can you tell us about this Gizmo costume? I feel like, honestly, you cut up a bunch of teddy bears and set them together. Please tell me you did that.
No, pillows, yes, for the inside, but his fur, in order to give it like texture, I tried to buy multiple textures and colors of fur in order to do the patching on his face. He's pretty much on the mark, for the movie as far as where the fur placement is, and it allows for him to look more 3D when he's finished.
And are his ears just made of cardboard? Like, what's the stripping I see on the top there? Is that
the ears are actually just foam, like really, really thin foam.
How do they not break?
Yeah, that's actually the beautiful part about them being foam, is that they can flip back and forth, and they're flexible, as opposed to if they were hard.
Oh, so you mean like cushion foam, not styrofoam?
It's actually like you get in the craft store. It's really thin. It's almost like paper. You can come in an 11 by 17 or 8.5 by 11, and it's as thin as the ears are. And you can cut it really easily. It's easy to mold with.
Noticed originally when you said foam, I was thinking styrofoam, and I was like, that seems impossible.
Different types of foam. Yeah, it's flexible foam.
Yeah.
Think yoga mats.
Subway sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, and so you have this Gizmo costume, and that was the last transition one you did? Other than the
Right
werewolf?
before the wolf, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so, can you sort of set that up for us? Like, what was actually happening in there? Like, of course, everyone just, I'm assuming, thought you were only Gizmo.
Yes.
And then you waited until you wanted to transform, or did you transform before you won?
No, it's usually, so I went to Chicago for this one, and was walking through this club, and I wanted to drop kick some of the 20, 21, 22-year-olds. I'm walking through the crowd, and I heard Furby shouted, and I was like, I'm gonna do your homework, so I kind of spread some knowledge about 80s movies to these kids. And then I'm up on stage. There's a huge stage that overlooks a crowd. And I come out, and my girlfriend, Jen Rosser, helped me out. We had a bucket full of blue glitter that she tossed on me, which was the water. And then after that happened, I had little fur balls that I threw at the crowd. And then she offered me a bucket of KFC chicken, and I dropped what looked like an old-time watch from my wrist and wound the clock back and kind of went like this. And then started, undressing and flipped out the head and shook my ears to the crowd, and they were just like...
So it was literally one of your more elaborate transitions. I mean,
Yes.
other than the werewolf being in its size.
Skit. Yes.
But the skit that actually went along with it. And so, I'm sorry, I lost track. You transformed before you won that one, right?
Yeah. You transform on stage. Like, they call you up basically for, to show your costume to the crowd, and they're thinking this is Gizmo or a Furby, whatever they thought I was. And then I did the skit, and then revealed, and then the crowd, applauses, and the judges are like, "Holy cow! This is not just what you think it is."
Yeah. So as you were transforming, could you actually see the hope in all the other contestants' eyes just leave their face?
That happens before the transitions and then during, typically, especially when I walked in the wolf, you see people just do an about face. Because there are costume people that search out these events. It's a moneymaker for people, and they go to compete.
And so shutting them down is your job.
I try to be humble about it, but it gets pretty exciting when you walk in the door and think, yeah, we've got this one in the bag.
Have you ever run into a situation where you kind of felt like you had it in the bag, other than the Godzilla situation that we talked about last week?
Yeah.
But a situation where you really thought you had it, and then some girl was like hooking up with the DJ and she won, or anything like that ever happened?
Well, ironically enough, with Gizmo in Chicago, I took second place that year. It was pretty upsetting. Yeah, I went on stage and for the competition, and this one was, there's sometimes by judges, voting. This one actually was by crowd applause, which is always awesome. I get up there, and I'm competing against Predator. Now, Predator was a store-bought mask with a staff and football shoulder pads that he had spray painted black, and that was it. And he took first place. He had about, I think we talked after, and he had like 30 to 40 fraternity boys in the crowd with deep voices.
Yeah. He said he brought you a drink, though, after
Oh,
that.
he did. He was like, I am so sorry. Obviously, you invested a lot more time in this. Would you like a drink? It was really nice of him.
Yeah.
I did get to redeem myself at Mask Fest Horror Hound and got first place for him.
So what you're saying is, in the community, there is good sportsmanship.
Yes, it was nice. It made me feel good.
Are there also like those pageant moms though? Really?
Probably,
Like,
I'd say I haven't ran into them yet, but yes, there's all kinds of politics when it comes to costume contests sometimes.
Well, let's hope you never do. Okay, so the next costume I wanted to talk to you about was this crazy Grinch costume. You sent us some videos and stuff. We're going to try and get it up on our website.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll share some of the videos up on Facebook or something later this week as we're going along. But explain that to us. It's not really a transformation costume. You're Lucy who?
Actually, Lucy Who, that was one of the people at the event. There's a lady that dressed up for that. It was a costume for a charity event for the poorhouse. Basically, it's called Baby It's Cold Outside. It's in Irvington, and they got a group of people together to have raffles. They had a band. The Grinch I was hired to make was for an actor named Andrew, and he was running around sort of getting everybody excited, just sort of like the entertainment for the event. I made this sweet prosthetic mask for him. You can kind of see it. We'll do more later with him, but it's a mask. He's got pants and shoes and a big belly. It was pretty funny. So
you did that. Was the mask actually like connected to his face around the edges?
Yeah,
so it's blended in?
Yeah, it's you can kind of.
I watched the videos, but they were on my phone, so
you can kind of see. It's got an open slot right here for his mouth, and then you sort of put the adhesive along here. That way, it gives him the able to talk and like make the weird Grinch faces. Yeah.
So was he being the Dr. Seuss Jim Carrey, or was he?
Dr. Seuss and Jim Carrey.
So is he being more of like Dr. Seuss Grinch, or is he more Jim Carrey Grinch?
Probably a combination. I think that definitely his personality was Jim Carrey. I think he sort of, it was really funny because we were drinking Maker's Mark with these old ladies, and they loved him and we got this game going where he would, find people on their phones or not really paying attention and such, and he would walk up behind them and get over their shoulder and go, and you'd see them freak out. He got a lot of people, and it was absolutely hilarious.
So you brought the Dr. Seuss, and he brought the Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Great,
basically.
Great. Okay, so I think we're going to turn things over to the Geek right now for a little bit of Geek talk. I'm going to get a refill on my drink, and we'll catch up with you guys in just a few minutes.
That's good to see you.
Hey, it's Geek Talk. We're here with Geek Jess. So, it is December. We're getting into the holiday season with Christmas and all that stuff. I am more excited about Star Wars than I am. Yes, I'm more excited about Star Wars than I am actually Christmas. But so here in the next couple of days, the whole new one kicks off.
Absolutely.
The whole new trilogy. You excited?
I am excited, and I have heard crazy things about the ticket sales and all that stuff.
Like everything's sold out, and people are starting to scalp them for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And stuff. It's ridiculous. But if you're a fan and you have an extra ticket,
let us know. This guy.
hook me up. So, speaking of movies, Krampus. It is holiday season, and not a lot of people know the German folklore side of it. But the movie Krampus came out.
Yes, it did.
You went and seen it.
I did. I went and saw it a couple nights ago, and I was pumped about this movie because I'm working on a Krampus sculpt in my basement right now. It's a female version with glitter horns and jingle bell earrings and big long red nails.
Nice.
The movie was pretty good. I do have some thoughts about it, some critiques, of course.
Okay, well, let's hear that. First, we want to make you a little warning. This may be a little bit of a spoiler issue, so if you don't want spoilers, kind of fast forward through this section. We will let you know when it's able to come back.
So the movie, it was good. It was funny. It was scary. There was a lot of build up and anticipation because me as a costume designer as well as other people, I get really excited to see what the monster is going to look like. What is his face going to look like? Throughout the whole film, you see him landing on the roof and his big cloak walking around. But what does the Krampus's face look like? It was CGI.
Really?
It was. I mean, it was a really nice, the drawings were good, the face was cool, but they took it more in a traditional. It looked like a man. It looked like a scary Santa Claus. It looked like when Jafar on Aladdin was trying to, in the old man actor, trying to coax Aladdin into the pyramids. He just looks sort of like this creepy old man. And typically a Krampus has a really long tongue, so his tongue was all CGI. It
looked more like Black Peter than it would Krampus.
right. I wanted it to be like this monster, this crazy sculpt, something that looks like the things I make. I wanted it to be this awesome little face, and it could have done more. I think if they're going to build up a movie like that, they did a lot of CGI. A lot of those characters, a lot of the bad guys were CGI.
Well, honestly, I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, because I know a lot of guys who do the CGI work, they get paid less than anybody else on the thing. So they may have this astronomical budget, but literally 1,000 people will work on the thing. So they're splitting that
Right.
huge budget. They're splitting to 1,000 people.
Right.
And I think, honestly, if you want to sell something, it should be more...
Yeah, like a practical mask.
practical
We want to see something that looks real.
Yeah.
Because even as not an artist, you can tell when something is a drawing. I wanted to see this like wicked animatronic tongue that came out and this crazy eyes and
Well, see, the guys who did Krampus, they also did Trick or Treat, the Halloween thing
that's
with
awesome.
Sam and all that.
I love that.
One of my favorite. I actually have Sam tattooed on the back of my cap.
Nice.
So I was looking for great stuff about this. However, they did all practical, majority of practical effects for that, because it was pretty much an indie movie in the sense that it wasn't the uber budget that a lot of films have. I was hoping, because they pushed Trick or Treat 2 back so they could do the Krampus movie, I was hoping it would be...
I think a lot of people were ready for that big Krampus monster, and I don't know why they shoot. I mean, I do like CGI for flight scenes and stuff like that. I think it looks awesome, things from a distance. But I always am disappointed when I see CGI for like the big reveal of the monster. I want to see some sculpting work and some blood, sweat, and tears put into that face.
So you can come back if you're, the spoiler-free zone now.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. But yeah, CGI versus whatever it is. So what are your plans for the new year? And since we're walking into 2016, which is going to be a pain in my butt to try to remember to write 2016 rather
I know,
than
right? I do that all the time.
What is you're launching into the new year?
My new idea is I want to get some more online traffic. So I'm going to start doing a lot more online sales, hopefully pushing. I'm still working on my website. And then I have an idea to sort of start an Instagram page, I think I might have mentioned before, and creating awesome masks that people look forward to seeing, but then dressing in like hot jumpsuits with them and taking pictures and trying
you'll get my demographic.
Yeah, right? Trying to get like the nerdy guys who are like, ooh, look at that hot chick in a Darth Vader mask. What's up? Bingo.
Just saying, I try not to be that guy, but
it happens.
I am who I am. I am the geek, and it happens, guys.
Yeah, I think that could push some sales. Start getting to a point where I'm accepting requests for what people would like to see as far as photo shoots go. I have a good friend, Jeffrey Chen, who's going to start doing a photographer for this stuff. Pretty excited about it.
So you started doing more steampunk stuff?
Yeah. I'm doing an event for the Paramount Theater up in Anderson. They're having a charity event for this winter. And they're raising money by having local celebrities, newscasters, school teachers and such. They come on and dance like the stars. They play on Dancing with the Stars. And they have cool outfits. And I just worked on a steampunk sketch this afternoon for a robotic dance. There was half steampunk, half robots. It was pretty cool.
You get into the steampunk stuff, and I will be broke. I'll be honest with you. Be like,
I know you need an arm.
Yeah, I need the arm. I'm looking at other stuff, and like I have to do. Gen Con is coming up, guys. So you have
Don't forget about me, everybody.
You have to be on point for Gen Con.
You do.
And we will be there. So keep an eye out for us walking around being us.
I'll probably be behind me, and I'm going to walk around in something awesome and blow people's minds.
Well, it depends on what she wears. Never mind. That's too stalkerish. I can't go there.
The TARDIS would have rocked your world then.
Yes. Yeah.
Funny thing about that is that I didn't really watch a lot of the Doctor Who, but I realized that, a lot of the guys, when I was walking through, all the nerdy guys were like, hey, sexy, and I thought, wow, these nerds have got some balls, they're trying to hit on me, and I thought, oh, sexy, like the TARDIS is supposed to be this, like,
yeah, that's the TARDIS
sex icon.
Well,
yeah.
that's the TARDIS's name. You find out in one of the episodes that that's what he calls in private. He calls her sexy.
Gosh, that was awesome. I'm always learning new stuff about this, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's one thing about the geek culture is most of us are very open, and so you ask us about it. No, this is where it comes from.
Oh yeah, they will correct you, but they'll be really nice about it at the same time, and that's how I learn stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I love geeks. Hey.
On that note,
taking the gloves off.
We're going to kick it back because she said geeks are sexy. So I don't want to taint anything else. So we're going to kick it back.
We'll see ya.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Freaking Geek podcast. This is our Christmas special. We have the lovely Jess West with us. And at this point in time, we're going to take this opportunity to talk about some crazy Christmas myths, facts, weird stories from when we were kids, whatever comes up. So, did you want to start with the facts, or should I go first?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to start with, have you ever heard the theory that the entire Christmas story, Santa Claus, all that is based on hallucinogenic mushrooms?
No, but that's awesome.
There's a mushroom called Amanita muscaria. I'm probably saying it wrong. Everybody, you can Google check that for the exact pronunciation. What do you want? This is a podcast, not the 10 o'clock news. But basically, the book that I read, I believe it's the Mushroom of the Gods. And I could be fucking that up too. But this author put together, it was during the time when the pagans and the Christians were first starting to unite their religion. Mm-hmm. And so the Christians didn't really celebrate the birth of Christ. In fact, it's well known among scholars that we don't know when he was born. We don't know that it was the 24th, exactly. 25th. And so they combined a pagan holiday with a Christian holiday in order to help convert more pagans to Christianity. So part of that was that the pagans would eat these mushrooms, Amanita muscaria, whatever it's called, but they tended to grow under, it's not carnivorous, but it's something that sounds like that.
Like a pine tree.
Pine trees, yeah. So they would find these mushrooms under pine trees, which is why we put Christmas trees in our house.
Yeah, for sure.
And then hang your stockings by the chimney. They'd hang the mushrooms there to dry them. And so they basically took all of this folklore from the pagans' holiday and blended it in with Christianity. And a lot of people actually say that Coca-Cola introduced the red and white Santa because the mushrooms are red and white. That is not true. I looked that up also before we came to the podcast. So the mushroom is red and white, and it looks kind of like the houses the Smurfs lived in.
Yeah, I was going to say Smurfs earlier. We're going to talk about it.
And so that's my random fact that I'm starting out with. I hope you can top that, because we're going down here.
Random facts. Are you talking about? Well, I did learn that the first Christmas song from outer space was Jingle Bells.
Yes, I would like to know. Remember that was a Voyager that we sent out in space, and we had it included a sentence from every language, like "Welcome to Earth," "We are friendly," or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
No, not at all. Educate me.
No, it was funny because we still had records. We didn't have tapes yet.
Uh-huh.
So they sent a satellite with a fucking record in it, like aliens are gonna know how to use a record player. But they basically just sent out in deep space, just past Pluto, I think 10 or 15 years ago. And it basically is trying to contact extraterrestrials or whatever in the hopes that maybe they would just run across this random satellite the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. And so they had, hello, how are you, in every language, and all, from that, and they had pictures of all the important things that happened, like the Berlin Wall falling. Actually, I think that was before the Berlin Wall fell, but things of that magnitude. And then Stephen Hawking came out with a paper 5 to 7 years ago that was well, if there are people who are out there who are intelligent enough to travel from one universe to another, we probably don't want to meet them because they'll just turn us into slaves.
Oh, exactly.
Because that's what mankind,
hierarchy. Yeah, for sure.
Technological mankind who's ever met anyone who had less technology, we just murdered them all and made them our slaves.
No.
So then they were just kind of well, we can't bring Voyager or whatever the name of the satellite was they sent out there.
Right.
We can't bring that back, so we're just screwed. If anybody ever finds it. But Luckily for us, the odds of that happening are very slim.
You think?
So, combat that one. You don't have anything else. That's it. That's it.
Fun facts for Christmas?
Yeah.
Cut right now because I don't know what to say.
I think you just
Sorry.
got owned. Like, you can take a shot faster than me, but someone just got owned.
I did get owned. I'm a costume girl. Come on now. Talk to me about the Abominable Snowman and I'll school your ass.
Abominable Snowman, okay. Is it the Rudolph Christmas Special or the Frosty the Snowman Christmas Special that the Abominable Snowman was in?
I don't know.
The original.
Is it not the original with the, well, the Frosty is different. The Rudolph is what I'm kind of talking
Rudolph
about.
is the good one, yeah. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I always have people, especially around different holidays and things like that, that talk to me, they come up to me, they're like, Jess, you know what you should make? And I'm like, what? Today at work, this girl, Summer, she comes up and she's like, you should make an Abominable Snowman. I'm like, absolutely. Because I had this sweet fur from the Grinch costume. I want to live in these pants. Wait, you should touch it.
But,
do it. It's so soft. Oh.
I prefer apple bottom jeans. The jeans with the fur, not my thing.
Not so much. But I agreed with her. It would be awesome to have this, like, you know, almost like the structure of the wolf, like a giant abominable snowman.
And you could come out as what was the elf that didn't like to build toys?
Oh, I don't know.
You wanted to be a doctor, I think.
That's a good one.
You could come out of the Abominable Snowman as that elf.
Was that movie? Was it claymation? What was that movie? It's been
It wasn't
so long.
clay because it was like little wooden pieces. So basically, I think it was just stop animation,
Really?
which back then was a really big thing.
Yeah.
Jason the Argonauts from like 1975. They filmed a whole movie like that with skeletons fighting, sword fighting guys and stuff.
Yeah, I saw it.
And that was a huge movie. I mean, you watch it now and you're just like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Right.
But back then, that was like the new age stuff.
Yeah, and in a sense, as an artist, when you watch certain stuff that's pioneer, you're just like, that is cool. I mean, the original Frankenstein back in the day was tissue paper and water. And
I'm not a big fan of the original. The one where I really fell in love with the Frankenstein story was the one with Robert De Niro. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That one is so... fucking Robert De Niro back then.
It's awesome.
He was unstoppable.
Like Robert De Niro and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
I don't think there was anyone else really famous in that whole
No, not that I know of.
movie.
Sometimes it's funny as you get older, you watch movies and you realize, oh my gosh, I know who that, like, you know, you don't realize as you get older, who, as they've come into their
like,
own.
oh, that was before he was famous.
Yeah,
but he was in that.
exactly.
There's Terminator. Have you seen the new Terminator movie?
Yeah, I was on my list on my Amazon Prime.
Mrs. Freak hasn't seen any of the Terminator movies. I really wanted to watch the new Terminator movie. So I made her sit through every Terminator except for the one with that stupid fucking girl Terminator. Go fuck yourself with that one.
Whatever.
Actually, other than the girl Terminator, that one was okay. I like the storyline and everything, but... So I made her sit through all three of those just to watch this one. And Bill Paxton, in the original scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up naked, he beats the crap out of three punk guys.
I just
One of them is
watched it.
Bill Paxton. I can't remember what the other guy's name is, but they're the guys in that scene.
Yeah.
So they didn't bring him back for this one, which I wish they would have. But it was cool watching it with her because I was like, hey, look, that's Bill Paxton. That's so-and-so. And she was like, Bill Paxton. I was like, Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
He wasn't Lieutenant Dan. He was, what was he?
I don't know. I can't think of it. Save my life
That
right now.
movie where they can touch, they see demons. They like, you touch them and they see demons. Fucking help us out here, Google check.
Come on, Geek. Geek.
We'll come back to that. It was he was in Frequency. That wasn't really that big of a movie though, so much as it. I mean, it was a cool movie. I liked it, but he was in Aliens. Fucking game over, man.
Okay, this is totally random, but you want to hear a really, really funny thing about the movie Alien. So as I'm building the wolf, I wanted to figure out how to have saliva dripping from his mouth. And so I'm researching, trying to find out how they do like the saliva that comes out of monsters' mouths. For the movie, Alien and Predator, all that fun stuff, all the saliva and stuff that's dripping out, just guess what it was.
I would guess, I don't know what they call it now, kids have it. I think they call it blurb or something like that, where they make it fart in the thing. We used to get out of gumball machines when I was a kid. I think they called it the blob or the ooze or something. But I feel like they probably just used a clear version of that, and I'm probably totally wrong.
KY.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense.
So
That like really freaks me out thinking that that's KY, and then you think about the Alien Resurrection movie, where she actually is like doing it with the alien, and I was like, what the fuck were they thinking when they did that?
No.
The best part was my baby brother was like 7 or 8 when that movie came out, and we took him to see it. So we get home, and my mom's like, oh, hey, what'd you guys do this weekend? And my mom goes, you won't believe it, Mom. We went to the movies, and we watched Alien Erection. And my mom was just like, what have you done?
No, children.
Resurrection. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's hilarious, the play on words. But all the interns for that movie, they were like, KY is the best product that you can use. So they sent them all out to all of the, CVS and all of these sex toy stores, clean out the KY. So they were wiping the shelves. They actually bought Los Angeles out of KY jelly, from what I've read. That's hilarious.
There were a lot of gay dudes methed out that weekend that had a rough time.
They were mad.
All I'm saying. Some straight people did too, guys. We're not homophobic here. I'm just saying. Los Angeles,
random fun
San
fact.
Francisco.
I was researching that and read, and I was like, that is hilarious.
So,
now they mass produce it, but
they didn't mass produce it back then?
They did not. That was the original. Let's figure out what drool it's made out of.
Back then, only girls were using it. It wasn't like they hadn't made the transition yet. I don't know what guys used back then, but I'm just saying.
Dirty sock.
Did they have that back then? I feel like that was more of a 90s
KY was
thing.
like the OG.
The OG. Woo. This is I think it was, then they came out with KY Silk or something. I just remembered it because they showed this lady that was like every bit of 63. And she was like, with my KY jelly, she didn't like put her hand down or anything, but she made a motion like this with her hand. I was just like, oh my God.
No.
That was on regular TV, not even cable television, folks. Regular TV.
As far as Christmas goes, though movies-wise, I love Scrooge. Have you seen Scrooge with Bill Murray?
Bill Murray? I fucking love that one. I made Cassie watch that last year.
It makes me happy. Their prosthetics, killing it for the boss. Such a good.
The giant, what is it, the third ghost? That's the Grim Reaper?
Yes, and he opens up his stomach and he's like, he's got all these guys.
So good. And it's a little bit funny too, so it's kind of like...
It's funny. Bill Murray's hilarious to me. He's got that dry, like,
everything.
I'm a dickhead funny, but he's funny.
He's good. And then I'm trying to think what, other than like, I love Rudolph still to this day, but Christmas Story is my shit, man. My stepdad to this day blows his fucking gasket every year after we open our presents. I'm like, Christmas Story time, motherfuckers. And we don't even watch the whole thing. We just like stop what we're doing when it comes to our favorite parts. And everybody has a different favorite part. So we'll all just be like hanging out talking. Everybody's like, shh, wait. And then he's like, God damn it, not again. And then people wonder why I act the way I do. But
this Vegas Vacation.
That's
like
good
Christmas
too.
Vacation. That
The
Vegas.
lights.
Christmas. I can't. That whole movie. I can quote it word for word and still laugh.
Best 3 words in that movie. Go.
No.
The Geek's got it. Shitter's
You
full.
didn't get it. That's one of the only movies that I can sit in my room by myself, watch it, and laugh out loud in my own room by myself with no one around. It cracks me up.
For me, those movies are kind of more along the lines of like Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I think it's probably not funny still, but you laugh because you just kind of remember the first time you saw it.
Yes.
So that becomes like a whole part of
it. Does. That's as far as nostalgia, like Home Alone 1 and 2.
Last 20 minutes of that movie is the only part that's worth watching. Maybe the first 10 minutes where he goes, look what you did, you little jerk.
I love all those movies.
You love the whole movie, though?
I do. I love both of them.
No way.
I'm a sappy girl when it comes to that. I love Home Alone 1 and 2.
All right, we'll give you a pass on that one. Like, just giving you passes after passes.
Don't pass Home Alone.
So, are you making a Krampus? Are you doing a Krampus?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I'm working on a Krampus. He's in my basement right now. Well, she's a female version. A lot of people do the male version, so I'm working on like a white fur bodysuit and red long nails, jingle bell earrings, kind of glitter horns. Be cool.
Nice. So is it going to be like we're not going to mix like I want to build a snowman in there at any point, are we?
It's a little abominable snowmanish because it's all white. But my friend Jeff, he challenged me. He's like, try to come up with a Krampus that is a female version, because typically it's like this big masculine. So I'm like, how do you put a spin on that?
Yeah.
White fur and nails and jewelry and glitter horns.
All right.
That's how you do.
So basically, guys, we've run out of time here. The camera is running out of film. We have no time at all. So I'm going to turn it over to Jess right now. Make sure you follow her on Facebook. Check out her Facebook page. Everything else, she has the information right here.
It's Jess West Costumes on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram at Jess West Costumes as well. And then I also am working on a website. It'll be up within a couple weeks or so.
Okay. You want to do this Christmas cookie shot or what? All right.
Cheers. Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy Hanukkah. Feliz Navidad.
Navidad. That's good.
That was a polar
That
bear.
was real good.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.